And this one here is going to be called, he's not heavy, he's my brother, all right?
Well, that's an old wrestling drill. And we were using it from the standpoint of, if we're not pitching well, somebody's got to make a play. Make a play, get us off the field. If we're having a hard time scoring runs, then we have to be better on the mound. We have to pick up the slack for the other part of the club. We're all teammates.
Because when we struggle offensively, somebody over here needs to run zeros.
If we get down 4-0, it's not an issue. Let's be good offensively and let's get back in the game. We'll find a guy out of the bullpen that'll give us a chance.
And when we got a guy in the mound that's struggling, somebody over here needs to make a play.
Just because of the segments, pitchers and hitters are split, but we're all one team. And at the end of the day,
by weight, you need to partner up with a pitcher.
Whether we pitched well and won, or whether we swung the bat well and pitched poorly and still won.
Here's how it works. Duke is going to carry Nick on his back, piggyback to this pole right here.
The reality is we're all one club, and there's going to be different days when you play 56 regular season games. There's going to be different days.
And then they're going to flip, and Nick will carry him at every light pole. And then when they get in the corner, they're going to sprint across.
One or the other part of your club is going to override the other, but at the end of the day, we're all one club. We either win or lose.
So we need to get started here, okay? We need to partner up.
That's why I was trying to split them up with pitchers carrying hitters and hitters carrying pitchers, just to understand that we are not two groups, even though we practice in two groups for the most part.
Because you got to be able to carry each other. It might take two guys for kill crease.
We needed to kind of come together as a group and make sure that the hitters and the pitchers and everybody was trusting each other to do their job. And if the hitters weren't doing it that day, the pitchers be there for them. And if the pitchers weren't doing it that day, the hitters be there for them. And then if we didn't have it either day, we'd know that we all have a gut check.
Come on, Bo.
We're one group, and sometimes you got to beat somebody 1-0, and sometimes you got to beat somebody 12-11. So.
Good, Whitey. The mechanics of catching, you have to work on it, and it becomes monotonous. I'll be the first to tell you that it becomes monotonous, but you have to make it so it's no matter what. When the bunt goes out in the middle of a game, like it's a rake, and you're raking it in there. There you go, good, Mason. You're going to go out and you're going to field it the right way with two hands, and you're going to throw the guy out at first, and it's a given out, and you have to be able to do that with all your catchers. Every time now. Couple more each, and then we're good. The skills that a catcher has, you try to make them so ingrained into their mind. So that's why we do so much tedious work with it. And I'm very critical of them, very critical of them. Do it again, accurate though. Okay? Don't have to be so fast, man. Slow the game down in your mind. Slow the game down in your mind. Meaning like, hey, your foot needs to be more straight towards second base when you're throwing. You can't go around. And I'll correct it. I'll try to correct it right away with a kid, and they probably don't like it that much, but I just try to hey, you can always get better no matter what you do. Nice, Whitey. Not a way to get out of there, staying down. Everything about catching is, if you're catching in the big leagues, you can still get better at the things that you do and just become more consistent. Use that glove, Mason. There, good.
Some coaches don't, realize those are the things that help you do, the throwing. So he gets the really small things and fine-tunes them, and that helps you, progress overall as a catcher.
See how that makes you get your legs underneath you? Yeah, it becomes a rhythm. Last one. That's everything about teaching catching, is to just ingrain it, and make it so every time that you get into your stance. Good, Whitey. Oh, boy. Come on, Mason, get after it. And over the last 5 years of coaching in the Mariners organization, it was that's what my main thing was I worked with the catchers, with our catching coordinator or whatever, and it's just fun for me. You have time, bust after it. There you go. It's a position that not everybody can play. There's a certain level of toughness that you have to have in order to catch. There's a certain level of brains that you have to have in order to catch, and there's a certain level of leadership that you have to have to catch. So it's not for everybody by any means. I know you're not going to throw everybody out, okay? I know that. I know that you're not going to throw 50% of the guys out, right? You have to focus, okay, is the guy going to steal here? Is the guy, what am I going to do if the guy does steal? If this guy bunts, what am I doing? Hey, where's my shortstop supposed to be playing the way we're pitching this guy right here? And moving him around, doing everything you have to do. So there's so much other things. Just as long as, we have a guy there that can catch the ball and go, okay? All right, let's go down there. You want to know what makes the kid tick a little bit because, I mean, he's going to be hopefully the leader of your club for 3 years. And then after that, he's a smart kid. He knows what he's paying attention to. He knows where everybody on the field's supposed to be. He knows how to talk to each pitcher. I mean, there's so much that goes into it that I think that's probably the most joy that I have with it just because of not everybody can do it. You know, there's only a select few that can actually do it.
Well, since I've been coaching college baseball, I've always coached catchers. And the only time, this is the first year I haven't been their position coach. Coach Horner is, only because I trust him. And I've known him for a long time, and I know what he's doing with it, and I don't have to worry about the fundamentally, are they going to be correct? Is he telling them the right thing? I'm fully confident that he is and will.
And just move your feet and get them on the ground. Wait. He had told me before I even was hired to come here, when we were talking about me coming here, he said that he was going to give me free rein on the catchers, and he said he wouldn't normally do that for somebody, but he trusted me to do it, mainly because I played for Spence for a summer, learned a little bit about what the catching I did, and I did it for so long.
The deal with the catchers is, you know, Coach Horner does a great job with them, and I don't have any qualm on whether or not they're getting coached or whether or not they know exactly what's expected.
Pitchers right here, you got 4. We go in 4, and we go full blast, and we'll be penalized for every ball that hits the ground when we get the fundies for the rest of the day. Do it right.
If you just do it right with your feet, and if your footwork is solid and you're fundamentally correct, you're going to be accurate most of the time. And that was the key. Hey, we're going to be accurate. We're going to be accurate.
Be good fundamentally. There you go. Be good fundamentally.
It's crucial to your game. I mean, a lot of people just see the things you do out on the field every day and like, oh, he makes it look easy. And I mean, it doesn't look like it takes that much effort to do, but they don't really see behind the scenes when we're doing this stuff, a couple hours every single day to make it look easy.
It's a way to throw. Hey, Haig, how many bad throws did you field?
We conditioned him a little bit and really just try to get back to the basics of playing baseball, doing the things that are going to help you win ball games.
Just play your regular spots now, where you'd play for a regular left-handed hitter.
Try to get back to the basics and let them understand more than anything. You got to respect the game. It doesn't matter who you play. You got to come ready to play every day. You got to respect the game, respect your opponent, because anybody can beat anybody any given day.
Now, the ones you didn't get over and hustle after, how many of those were there? About 2, 3?
Make the routine plays. Hit your cutoff men. Keep double plays intact. Don't walk people. Don't make errors. If you can do that, you're going to have a chance to win.
Oh, Haig.
They become routine. And one of the things that you see not only at our level, but any level, is when you give extra outs and you give extra bases, it leads to big innings. And especially with the new bats this year, we've seen just a huge difference in just being able to take care of the game.
Yeah. If it's a runner,
yeah,
I'm going to play in here. Like if you were hitting.
Okay. Okay. Just trying to emphasize the fact that we need to be fundamentally good. We have a little bit, and it's because we have a lot of very good athletes. And you'll see that when you recruit the guy. You very rarely do you see a very, very good athlete that is very good fundamentally.
Pick it. Nice job.
Because they do things that other guys can't do just because they can. But as the game speeds up and the game progresses, the guys in the big leagues are very athletic and very fundamental.
Some guys have that natural ability where they're just going to pick up a ball and throw it 94. They're going to pick up a bat and start hitting the ball around the yard. But everybody's got certain fundamental things they got to do with their swing or on the field or on the mound that they have to work on to be a good baseball player.
Catch that ball one-handed. Yes. Then put your other hand in late.
Jamadric, Kelby, 2 very athletic middle infielders. Make sure you're fundamentally right and you get your feet in the right position. You do things right. Reed Redmond's the same thing.
Go, Whitey.
Let's just be very fundamentally sound, and then your God-given talent will take over and be plus.
You owe me 3. You'll sprint to Coach Jarvis, to the line on Coach Jarvis, and jog back.
And we didn't get after him especially hard, but just to remind them that this thing is important, and they know that.
Sprint to Jarvis, jog back. Go.
But again, they're kids, and they're thinking about, hey, I got a final tomorrow, or 2 the next day, or this is important. We're going to get after it today because today's a practice day, and then we're going to give you the time to go get your grades done.
Corwin's going to beat you.
Oh boy, good job.
And then we're going to come back on Sunday and practice, and And so, you know, it's a little bit tricky because all clubs are different and you don't know for sure where you're at. But the thing about it is, you know, fortunately, you were practicing in an environment where you have something to go get. You don't need help. You're having a solid year. You know, they're doing some things where they should be understanding there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if you get after it.
We good? Questions? Okay, I'll take Corwin and Erzinger right now. First two guys getting going.